Motorhead Garage, presented by Dragonfire Tools.com, is brought to you by Amsoil, the first in synthetics. Campbell's Custom Care, your detail specialist. And by Goose Grip, innovative lights.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dragonfire Tools.com. Our friends at Steele Rubber always put on a big show for National Collector Car Appreciation Day. Well, a few months ago, we went to that show. You guys loved it, so we're going to show it to you again. Welcome to Steele Rubber Products in Denver, North Carolina. Here you can get just about any rubber gasket or seal made for vehicles in the last 100 years. And look what we came across here. This is a 1949 Divco. When's the last time you saw one of these? Well, there's all kinds of unique and interesting vehicles on the property. A whole lot to cover, so let's get started. Every car has a story, and this car's story starts back in 1969. It's a 69 Mercury Cyclone Cale Yarborough Special. How'd you fall in love with this car?
Well, when I was 9 years old, I met Cale Yarborough at the Mercury dealership and had my picture made with Cale beside one of these. I've always wanted one, but never could find one for sale. So I sold my Fairlane last year and found this car for sale in Chicago, Illinois.
This car's all original, but we know the first thing to go is always the rubber seals. So when you need rubber seals, what's it like to go to Steele Rubber for what you need?
Oh, it's great. Come up here, they always on the money. Got great products, like all original, made out of original material. It works great.
What have you bought from Steele Rubber for this car?
Well, when I got the car, I ordered a trunk rubber from the internet and it didn't work. It would not shut. I had to slam the truck. Come up here, got a piece of trunk rubber, and it shuts fine, just real easy and everything made for it. Perfect.
There are tons of car experts here at the Steele Rubber Show today, and Ray isn't one of them. Yes, Ray, you've been at this for a couple of years. You've done a beautiful job on this 84 Monte Carlo. What have you done to it?
So we started out originally with an LM7 block, and then we went to AR5 transmission.
One thing that jumps out at me is the turbo. Tell me about that.
7880 oilless turbo. So, you know, as I was doing my research and all the cool kids were doing turbos, I was going to go naturally aspirated initially, but I started looking at the turbos. I didn't want to deal with all the filters. So, you know, every 3,000 miles, just squirt of oil, and then I'm good to go.
This car isn't that old, but how hard is it to find parts for it?
It's super hard, you know, from bushings to all types of rubber fitments. I'm definitely going to be looking into Steele Rubber from here on out. I had no idea this place was here. I learned that they can send you a catalog specifically designed for your vehicle, which would save me hours of research on the internet.
Danny Agosta is one of the folks in charge here at Steele Rubber for putting on this show for National Collector Car Appreciation Day. Danny, why is this the perfect occasion for Steele Rubber to hold such a big party?
Well, it's a national holiday, so it's just the perfect day to get together with our community, with our customers, and have the chance to recognize the hobby and just the camaraderie that you can get in these collector cars.
There's all kinds of cars here, Danny. What kind of rubber seals and parts can folks get for vehicles of all shapes and colors?
I mean, we got so many parts for so many different cars, from bumper to bumper. Everything for glass, doors, trunk, anything to keep the water out, to keep the wind noise out, you know, from molded items to extruded items, RVs and classic cars. I mean, we just have so many different parts, and the idea is just that you want to enjoy your vehicle, and we have the parts to help you do that.
How often are rubber seals and that sort of thing overlooked by people?
You know, it's not necessarily maybe one of the fun things to buy. It's not wheels, it's not gauges, it's not, you know, whatever, but it's absolutely essential, and it goes not just a long way for the performance, the sealing and all that stuff, but it really does make the car look good. Vent window seals, those go bad all the time, and they look a lot better whenever they're fresh.
I've talked to a lot of folks. They appreciate the variety of parts you have at Steele Rubber, but what about the quality? How can they be sure that they're getting good products from Steele Rubber?
Well, I mean, look around. You know, we're making this stuff in North Carolina. We've got our own compounds. They're modern compounds. They're not going to biodegrade like some of the stuff from the original. And there's a tremendous amount of care that goes into it, because we know that the person who's putting this on their vehicle wants it to be right, the first time, and wants it to perform and look good and all this kind of stuff. So we go to an extreme length to make sure that all that stuff happens.
Do not go anywhere, because Motorhead Garage, presented by Dragonfire Tools, returns next with more from Steele Rubber. And oh, by the way, you're not going to want to miss this week's Motorhead of the Week.